Hello, it's Joe Glines, and today we're going to look a little bit of using LinkedIn and how we can make it easier to extract information or even just find people in there. So first off, let's start off. Let's say I was trying to use their advanced search tool, and let's close that and stick with this version for now. And let's say we wanted people that work at a certain company, like market research. So initially I put in market research in my company query to look for that text. And up here, if we look at the URL, I'm going to bring this out into my editor. Bring it over here so we can look at it. And in here, let me break this on the ampersand. So I'm going to replace the ampersand with a new line ampersand. Replace in selection. Okay, so all it did was just every time I saw a question mark, it put it on new line. And the very first one, of course, with the way HTML code, HTTP protocol works, is the very first one's a question mark. After that, they're all ampersands. These are parameters. So you can tell it, company, look for this words, right? And this is other values in here that I pass to it. And what we'll see here is, let's go back to here. Let's say I hadn't done my homework yet, but I see that here are some people who actually work for market research, and when I go look at someone's profile, you can see actually it looks like he's it's market research. All right, here. So see when I mouse over that, and it actually market research is a standardized name that LinkedIn knows. And in the URL down below, you can see the www.linkedin.com/company/18192. That's market research's unique identifier in LinkedIn. And if I'm going to copy this shortcut here, and we'll go back just to show right here. Right, so this is what I was referring to. The rest is just tracking. Right, so this would actually bring up, if we navigate to it, it's going to bring up the overall profile of market research. Give you some information, which of course we could rip through this and get this information extracted. Actually, their API, you can extract that information and more. It's very helpful. But right now we're sticking with using the web page and their interface. So what I can do is, if I go back to this search, now that I know it's whatever that number was, right? I can come up, and that's what I had done in one of these here. See this 18192, and it highlights it. This program will show it everywhere. So you can see, and this PC, I know just because I've played enough with their search tool and the parameters, that even though I had company market research here, actually now I can actually remove that text. I don't need it, because this PC parameter means previous company. So again, here I had it in here. So previous company, and I think current CC is current company. So if I have those both in my parameter in my search criteria, I'm going to take this and come back into here, and now you'll see one is I might drop out some people, but it was people who probably got pulled in because they had the word mark in their company name, right? So this will do a better job of identifying them. The other great thing is, let's say that we had these locations, right? And here's 14 in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Each of these as well, it's really hard to detect from here. Let's go ahead and put in Dallas-Fort Worth. And now what will happen if I come in here and we look at the URL and you study it, off the top of my head, I can't remember. Let's see, USA. And here I have this other thing. I can go like this. I'm going to decode the URL, so it's closer to straight English. So this is saying U.S. market. I think that's market 31, which is the Dallas market. I have this handy dandy spreadsheet over here, and we look at locations, and we search for Dallas-Fort Worth. There it is. Right, here's market 31. The nice thing about this spreadsheet is I can actually search in here and find the locations that I'd want to use, and I can easily pass them as parameters as well. I also have this information for the industry codes as well. So if we wanted market research, right, I can narrow that field if they've worked in market research by passing this parameter to the query. All right. also have this file, which actually goes through all of the different parameters in the LinkedIn profile. It allows you to, it helps me understand if I want to put in distance and then a value that I can pipe in there, right? Or if I want to use postal code and then a value. Some of them you can take multiple parameters. So if you have like their title and position, you can put in, here's for last name, put past company. So here's the PC we saw earlier, current company, past company, and so here, notice I have 2 listed, right? So we can actually, if we had a couple companies we were interested in, we can use this to help understand how to build our query and not have to try to use that GUI every time. And then this is they're interested in, the types of things they're interested in, the size of the companies. Lots of parameters there that it's just nice to have this to me in this format, because I can easily manipulate this and build my URL. And so let's get back into that. So I build my URL that I want to search for. This, I guess, because I limited it to Dallas, let's put it back to all. And now we're oh, how did I get 150? Oh, because I said basically anybody in Dallas area. Okay, it's not, it's a or. What I want to do is put back in, which I had up here, in this one, I think. That was the Dallas one. This is the one that just, I believe this is the one that has just market research anywhere. Here we go, 26 people. Now, what I'd like to do is to be able to get these people and extract them, or loop through them, or be able to view them easily, and get the. Now, this information is nice, but I'd really like is actually in their profile. So what I realized was when you mouse over it and you scroll down, see here in the status bar area, when you mouse over one, see where it says linkedin.com/profile view ID equals 6487044. So for Frank Summers, that is his unique identifier. So if I could have a way to get those identifiers, it'd make it very easy for me to get the list of people. So I have a script I wrote. I think it's running right now. Yeah. So let me show you in members. Let me delete this. I'm going to save it. Okay, so this is empty right now. And we'll go back to here. And I'm going to start my script. And what it's going to do here, hopefully, is it's looping through the different versions. So you see these pages changing, and we scroll down, here's the third, and then there's no more, right? So it went 1 through 2, 3, and we come over to this file. Now look, I have 26 member IDs. And then, once you understand that, let's pick one example. We're going to come in here to Beth. I'm going to borrow her member ID. Ooh, a lot of extra stuff which you really don't need. So 839, that's the second to last, but if I just take this one and put in this other person's, now when I navigate to it, it'll pull up Karen's profile. Now, of course, which LinkedIn is against their policies, but they don't want you extracting information about the people. Of course, I wouldn't do that. I happen to write a script that does it, but I of course would not do that because that'd be against their policies. The other thing, by the way, just because I have it open, here's a map of all those locations, because sometimes it's just easier to have them all on a map. So these are all the different locations that LinkedIn has in their system. Now let me exit out of my one script, and let me go back to my members. Oops, I gotta get rid of that last one. Looks like I got some extra. Oh, just a couple. I think my script probably trims out the spaces when it runs, but that needs to be cleaned up, because obviously you can't have URLs that have spaces in them. But I am not 100% sure on that. It's been a while since I've done this, so I'm going to get rid of all the spaces. Alright, I'm going to save this. I'm going to save this, and I'm going to put it up a little bit higher. LinkedIn Looper. I'm going to save it in this folder, in members. Okay. So now I'm going to leave these up here because hopefully a couple of these we'll be able to see as we loop through them. But now I am going to launch a different script I have. And now it's asking me which list do I want to loop through. And this is the members one we just created. You can somewhat see there's 26 of them, but see these up here. This is the same list. I'm going to say open. And now what it's going to do is it first goes to my page, just because I want to record what profile I had. And now it's going to go loop through and see this 6870044, 1216650. So it's looping through each of these people, and it's extracting information about them, and it's going to dump it into a tabbed limited format. So there's 26 of them, and I'm going to pause here just for a second to let it finish, and then I'll continue on when it starts. Alright, it stopped looping. I have a little message box that pops up and tells me it took a minute and 41 seconds to run through those. So we're going to hit OK, and I'm going to close this now, and actually I'll just minimize that for now. And I don't need this file anymore, or that one, or that one. I'm just trying to close out some stuff because I'm going to use the same program to open what we just did. So in this folder where we circled through it, it's in my looper. Here we go. So this member extract 84644. This is the file we just looped through right now. You can't see my clock, but that's just a minute ago. And if I open it in here, it looks really poor. But let me close this, and I'm going to copy the path, open up Excel. That's terrible. And pop open the file. And now here, let's go ahead and freeze the top row. Widen some of these up. You can see the information that I've extracted from their profile. So this is the information about them. It doesn't get necessarily everything. It also depends on your level of connection. If you're first, second, or third, or not at all. If you're not at all connected in any way, you can't actually see their profile. Sometimes you have information about them. I need to work on my script a little bit to decode this from the HTML type format into where it swaps out the illegal characters. But sometimes they have their information there. Not always. But what's great is now that I have this information, one is I can decide to reach out to them directly in here. Oh, someone's interested in computer skills. All right. Oh, macros. Sign me up. But you have the information about them, and you can easily loop through them, and they will go, of course, if you look, let's see, let me go to my profile. So you can see, at times I've done this more than other, but I was up to getting about 1,000 views of my profile a week, which is a lot. Normally when I don't do anything, I get, 2. So anyway, that's a quick overview of what I've done in LinkedIn. Let me see if I have this script handy. This other one's nice. So here, just because I do this a lot, fix URL isn't one of these. Oh, here it is, hyperlink. So I think if I just double click this, so now when I click this, it opened in my other browser in the other window. But now I can easily just click this and it'll pop open their profile. Right, and basically all I did was I wrote a little script that here you can see the formula, right? It takes that hyperlink and it uses their name, but it takes that value that was over here and makes it where you can navigate right to it, right? So for salespeople, this is invaluable to being able to reach out to them. I did do some other stuff where it automates the writing of emails to them. There's so many things you can do. It's crazy, but this was a quick overview of some of the stuff I've done. Thanks.